Well, Scorpio, you are in for a very emotional and transformative week, and we're going to get deep into it. This is your weekly tarot card reading from Born Without Boundaries Tarot. It is for Scorpio, Sun, Moon, and Rising sign. We're going to first start out with the astrology, and there's a lot to go over, so bear with me. And then we're going to head into the cards, okay? A lot about your past and future will come up at the same time in my readings. It does, because I'm a very quantum reader. Everything happens at the same time because it's got a unified message. So stick with me. There's always an extended reading, which I do hope that you'll join me for. And you can join that extended reading either by the individual reading down below, the link is below, or just join my Unbound membership. And so you have access to all the extended readings, plus live tarot card readings with me multiple times a week. So this is a tremendous week because it starts the square to the sun that will, so Pluto and Mars are your ruling dignitaries. Pluto is your ruling dignitary, but Mars is your old ruling dignitary. Now Mars just came out of conjunction directly with Saturn. It's still conjunct Saturn, but it's moving farther away. So you still may feel very much at intention or at conflict, especially with authority figures or how people see you, how you're being perceived by people in charge or the law. If you've been going out to try to get a job or you're trying to join a new industry, you may feel very judged. You may feel also very kind of pop-offish, always feeling like you have to battle. Well, that's going to be amplified this week because Pluto square the sun starts this week, and that square will last to the end of this month, which is going to begin a very transformative period for you in terms of sort of breaking down your ego and rebuilding it, teaching you what really matters to you and what doesn't. It's almost like the universe putting a test in front of you to see how you react, so you see how you react and you learn about yourself from that. So it's going to inevitably by the end of this month strengthen you a great deal and also have really prepared you and qualified you for progress, but it's going to start off very rough, especially since the end of this week. Pluto's also going to be square the full moon in Libra, and that's going to bring up a lot of intense issues, especially concerning, could be mother figures because it's the moon, a lot of emotions that you've buried deep, a lot of things that you're really sensitive about coming up. Pluto's also most of the week square to Mercury, so that could also make you extremely defensive when you use your words, also want to dig into things. And for personal inquiry, this is really wonderful. Also inquiring into different systems. If you're getting the feeling that something's off, it's a good time to dig into things, especially on the computer, because Mercury is going to be conjunct Uranus later on this week as well. So definitely digging and finding things. What I would like you to try to stay away from is, I think I was going to say try to stay away from getting too paranoid about what you find, but a lot of the things that you find, you're going to run into a lot of truths, and they may hurt you, disturb you, but they're also going to set you on the right path because it's exactly what you need to know. And, yeah, it may make you change the way that you actually feel about some things, especially spiritual beliefs. You may feel really set upon or persecuted for your spiritual beliefs this week. It should inevitably give you a deeper relationship with them, or maybe bring into question whether or not you really believe what you thought you believe. And so that could be like a changing right now, a beginning of a change to what you've always thought you believed versus what you really believe, or what you feel comfortable with believing now. So this is going to be a tremendously emotional period for you, and get ready to feel defensive, pop-offish, attacked. The best way to deal with this energy is to take breaths, to any time we're dealing with Mercury that likes to be really snappy and thinks really quickly. It's like, take breaths, breathe slowly, think before you speak, and take the high road. By taking the high road, by even if you see somebody behaving at their worst, knowing that that's kind of like how you react says more about you than it does about them and their shittiness. So it's really about finding that high ground and realizing that you don't have to always dig through the crud, that's not all you're worth, and that's not where you get your worth from, and that there is a high road to take. So do expect this to be challenging, but through that expectation, also kind of get comfortable and don't be surprised when it all comes to you, so that you can actually handle it in stride. Let's get into the cards. And please feel free to put questions below in the comments. If you have any astrology questions, let me know about any of the things that I've brought up. That square to the full moon later on this week, that square to the sun that begins this week and goes all the way through the end of April, and that square to Mercury, all of those, Pluto, all of those with Pluto, all of those are going to be impacting you a great deal, as well as, happy birthday, Doug Denny, Mars is transitioning into Pisces, a very uncomfortable position for Pisces. Mars doesn't like to feel that deep. It doesn't like to think that much. It doesn't like to be slowed down, but its intuition will be off the hook, and I guarantee you, your intuition is going to be off the hook now. So ultimately, when you have a feeling about something, there's no need to be challenged. There's no need to feel challenged. You can be certain of yourself, and you may feel that this week especially brings you closer to a certainty in yourself and an understanding of your true gifts than you've ever been before. Let's get into the cards. Scorpio. Lots of strange vibrations. This is not a normal environment for me. Oh, shoot. So let's just pause for a second, because this card encompasses everything that I've said. Something is very clear, and I don't want you, it'll be so clear for you, Scorpio. There's no room for doubt. There's no room for doubt. It's also saying that something that has been hidden or kept in the dark, and we'll get deeper into what, but it could affect and impact you in different areas of your life, right? Just a sense of whatever was trying to stay hidden is not going to be able to be hidden anymore. A truth is going to come out, right? And it's something that you will see. It will appear in front of you. I don't think this is not the energy of you realizing something about yourself, though there will be a lot of self-realization throughout this entire, I would say, through the end of April, because of Pluto's aspects to the sun. But no, it's more powerful is that there's something that you see very, very clearly now, and I feel this puts you in a position of power. It puts you in the position of being able to make better choices. And now that you see the reality of something, it puts you into a situation where maybe you would have trusted something, or we do this a lot, right? Scorpio, we try to convince ourselves away from what we know inside, that primal instinct inside of you. You really want to trust it this week. You really want to depend on it, but you don't want to act on it. You want to listen to it. You want to allow it to let you take in all that information, but you don't want to be reactive, right? It's like you want to be the wise animal. You don't want to be the reactive animal. The reactive animal will get stuck in a trap. The wise animal will learn what the trap is all about, will see the trap clearly, and will get to know about the people and the mentality of the people who set the trap. And that is your beautiful superpower this week, is to be able to see all of that very, very clearly. So as long as you can stay away from being reactionary, Scorpio, you're going to get the skivvy, you're going to get the DL on a lot of heavy shit that is going to put you in a position of deep knowing, deep understanding, and therefore control of your situation, not over others. And that's another thing that is also kind of tempting about this, is that when you start to see and recognize these truths about other people's nature and character, there is a temptation. There will definitely be a temptation, especially when Mercury conjuncts Uranus. There will be a huge temptation to manipulate, because Mercury will still be square to Pluto. There will be a big temptation to manipulate, and this is not what you want to do, because ultimately that brings you down and sucks you into low vibrational energy. Ultimately, what you want to do is use it. So almost like if you've ever seen those spy movies where they shine this like infrared light and you see all the lasers beams crisscross, crisscross, crisscross. You know, you want to use your vision right now to be able to see, and you will be able to see very clearly where to not step on the tripwires. And you should absolutely use it for that. But to then turn around and manipulate the tripwires, or find a way to make it explode the system, or lure somebody else into the trap so they get sucked in and you feel better about yourself, that's going to set future karmic traps for you. Because remember, Saturn is still squaring both the north and south nodes. And this is about a time of becoming a better aspect of ourselves, even if it's harder. So you're going to feel the temptation to fuck with people. But ultimately, to resist the temptation and just allow this deeper wisdom and what you see to not allow other people to fuck with you is 100% this beautiful high vibrational energy for you right now. Transformation is beautiful. And so this marks an ending of a part of your life and a beginning of a new one. It also tells me there's a lot of hope here for it being easier than I initially thought it may be for you guys to choose the high road, because now you have your wings. And honestly, to get back into that muck, you don't, that ain't you. That's not you anymore. That's not where you're at, right? It's just a sense of, I can fly higher. I can fly above it. And it's a hell of a lot easier for a butterfly to float around those tripwires than it is for a little caterpillar who's bound to the ground. So you have so much more dexterity. Oh, and that's what's going to become very clear to you. By the end of this week, you might actually be able to step back and feel so proud of yourself for knowing every time you could have reacted in a low vibrational way, and you're seeing that you don't do that anymore. It's going to be really you're going to love yourself so much. I feel by the end of this week, beginning of the next, you're going to start to really see how far you've come. So this is actually a beautiful week to see. Wow, I would have taken that bait before, wouldn't I? I really would have, but I don't even want to anymore. I'm not even tempted to eat that bloody meat that's waiting in that trap. I can see it, and I remember those times when that easily would have tripped me up. But now it's not that you don't care. It's that you care about other things more. And so knowing where your heart is really going to help you take that high ground. And then we have give with gratitude and grace. This is Turkey. Now, sometimes Turkey is about self-sacrificing energy. Upright, however, I think there is going to be, you're not going to be easily discouraged this week. This is a sense of one of your superpowers. What did I use last week? The tool in your arsenal that you're really going to be able to grip onto is that you're going to put your all into something. You're going to get an even deeper sense of devotion and dedication to something. And even though, and I promise you, there's going to be a lot of bullshit that is going to try to make you quit. So this is your warning, but in a good way, in that there's going to be so many things that are going to try to trip you up and make you quit. And you're just not having it. And it's because butterfly is here and so is owl. This is about wisdom and transcendence. This is about maturity. So Scorpio, it's got nothing to do with stubbornness. It's got nothing to do with even just wanting to be right. Though I think I gotta say a little bit, because I'm channeling this energy now. A little bit of it is, nah, fuck you. You ain't gonna make me give up. There's no way in hell, because I know. But that also comes from, but now I know I'm worth it. Now I know I'm worth it. And you're gonna be really surprised. And I just feel this beautiful relationship coming out of this situation with yourself, like loving yourself deeper than you have, because you don't give up. And you're going to see, like in the past, you have given up basically for a lot of good sounding reasons, but the reasons really came down to, I didn't believe in myself or my value enough. And now that's not going to be true. This is full on devotion to something. It's a sense of, okay, I'm in it for the long haul. This is hell week, right? This is my entry level. I know I'm going to get mud kicked in my face this week. I'm not giving up. I'm not giving up. I'm not giving up. And oh, did I mention I'm not going to give up? So because I think this is a lot to do with understanding that in the past, giving up was what made you fail. It wasn't the perceived failures. It wasn't tripping. It wasn't being criticized. It wasn't failing a test. It was having given up after failing a test. And so you kind of have learned the secret right now. That's the secret that you've learned. You've learned that all this grudgy and crappy stuff is really just the devil's temptation to try to get you to quit and to just decide, blow wind blow, I'm not quitting, because you know and you've seen and you've grown wise and you've realized that, not half of success, 90% of success is tenacity. It's just being the one that stays in the game. And ultimately, that's the trick to the game. So there's the secret. Okay, we have a little bit of strain. Okay, so let's talk about that. There's going to be stress on your relationships, especially people that you're working with. There's going to be stress on whoever you're collaborating with. This could cause you to find a different partner. It could cause you to just be having a lot of arguments, and there's could be just, right now you may just have to accept that there's a lot of dissonance. You may be also tempted in this energy to just go off and give up completely and work on your own. But this is a really telltale sign that a lot of these pressures and a lot of these tests, and we should know this, right? Because the full moon that's coming up, that's really going to be like the whitehead that pops, it's going to be in Libra, and Libra is about relationships. It's about partnerships. Now, can this be partnerships with people you work with? Okay, sure, it can be. I don't say that all of this has to be romance at all, because this isn't a romance reading. But ultimately, you're going to start to see different things that aren't working out. And it's going to be a big challenge with whatever kind of intimate, that doesn't have to be sexual, but somebody who matters to you. These are going to be challenging relationships. And I've got to say, with the way everything is set up, you're going to learn a lot about yourself. And this is going to strengthen relationships that are the ones that come out of this will be so much stronger, right? But this could definitely break those relationships that are just not supportive. And I also don't see you mourning that a lot. I see it actually being a big relief. There's some tension here. I want to get a little bit deeper. Let's get a moon card and see, Scorpio. Just get a little bit see? You better stop, dude. I'm telling you, this week the reason why it's not going to break you is because everything's going to be real clear to you. It's talking to you on a level where you're just going to keep understanding it. And that's your secret. As long as the universe is being upfront with you, you don't like them lies, right? You don't like those hidden messages. You don't like people trying to fuck with your brain. Just be straight with me and I can deal with anything. And ultimately, that's Pluto. And square to Mercury, square to the sun, but they're both in Aries. And it's like, that's a very direct, blunt energy, right? And it's just like a sense of, tell it to me like it is. Tell it to me straight. It's time to release negativity. Full moon in Scorpio. That's what made me realize, yeah, this is actually going to be a really good chance for anything that's been building up, any worries, any fears, any concerns, especially in partnership. And I felt it's because there's ants, right? That's the ant totem. I felt work. So if the first thing I did, I felt work. Also because Pluto is in Capricorn, and Capricorn rules work and what you're building out into the world, or your conflict with different kind of institutions or places you're trying to get work and, being questioned. That's really where the strains and the pressure points are going to come out for you. It's time to release negative energy. What is that? The toxins that you hold inside of yourself about judgments you've made about yourself. And that's what's time to let it go. It's also a sense of you're going to start to see that you are more than what you expected. And you're going to start to see that, a lot of the judgment and persecution that you hear from others is really coming from you. Because other people can be as critical as they want. If you loved yourself and you felt secure about yourself, it would roll off your back. If it's not rolling off your back and you're taking those bullets, it's because there's part of you that's actually sucking those bullets in and saying, I want to be a target. I feel, not consciously, of course, but I feel like I deserve this. And that's going to be your aha. Holy shit. I really don't deserve this. And if this is the way that you want to talk, okay. But once again, I'm not going to give up because you've made judgments. See, other people's judgments on you can't make you give up. Only if you agree with them will you give up. And that's going to be the clarity that is going to change your trajectory this week. Let's get deeper into Turkey energy and ant energy to see where this partnership is really going to be triggered. All the links below are, all the links to the extendeds are below. And I'll see you guys there.